Right, welcome back. Last time, we actually have started to reduce our autonomy, so I managed to get through the first reform that involves, well, that requires having below a certain level of autonomy, which is to start appointing magistrates in the courts, instead of just having justice decided entirely locally. This will help with stability and reduce autonomy, and improve welfare and corruption. Or did it improve autonomy? Actually, I don't think it did. I would have to check the levels. No, it didn't improve autonomy. The next level will, as well as welfare and corruption. And then the level after that will further improve autonomy, welfare, and global, well, stability, autonomy, and welfare. Okay. Of course, that's going to take quite a bit to get through, right? So the next one requires 30 bureaucratic influence, 30 state reach, and 65 average autonomy or lower. And this requires 50 average autonomy or lower. Okay. Right. I've also been trying to bring up my admin tech to speed, now that I'm done with bureaucracy ideas, in order to get through the idea groups I need in order to get trade ideas so that I can upgrade my trade law finally, and finally start to get commercialization. This is the spread map for legalism. Not important. What I want is the spread map for, well, this is meritocracy, which, as far as I know, is only in some parts of China, Korea, and Turkey for some reason. Commercialization, which, as far as I know, has only reached Sweden. It has not reached Turkey, and it has most certainly not reached Africa in any way, shape, or form. I definitely want to get this, though, just to get rid of the tech cost. This, I kind of want a bit more, because that corruption reduction reduces the resting point by 3 points, and that tech cost reduction, although the tech cost reduction from getting this would be better. I also am going to need it for the eventual creation of casual literacy, since you need commercialization present for every future. Well, theoretically this one doesn't need commercialization, but in actuality it does because it needs casual literacy, etc. I need commercialization for just about everything, so it's really, really important for me to get that institution. So I need to improve commerce law, and the main way to do that is to get trade ideas. Well, the first step towards that is to get trade ideas. The intermediate step I can do in the meantime is to try to raise the power of the burghers. But I don't want to do that too much, because if it gets too high, they'll start interfering with reforms, just like the nobility happen to be doing on a daily basis. Oh, join, not again. Stability is dropping again. State reach is improving now, and provincial corruption is dropping rapidly. Yeah, I think national income is reducing. This mainly has to do with a high level of corruption, though. The level of revenue seems to have dropped in total. Wasn't it 200 before? Wages for the bureaucrats are increasing, and infrastructure costs are increasing too. Right, I don't need to spend as much on infrastructure. That's correct. Yeah, I probably should do that. That reform requires for aristocrats to have less influence. Well, I can't do that right now. Okay, so what kind of infrastructure am I fine with not funding? Right, I've already marked, okay, so this I think was what I had marked. Let's get rid of irrigation funding, especially since in Zanzibar they're absurdly expensive, and in other locations it's not as important to keep around because Zanzibar is handling most of my agricultural needs from sheer productivity. Well, especially, well, that would be even more the case once I get cheap paper because that means I can get more of those districts, rural districts. Let's apply that configuration to all provinces. Okay, configuration applied. Right. That's not what I meant. Didn't want to hide the tone to decisions. I wanted to clear the selection of provinces. Ah yes, new technology. That needs a minute for the months to change, so that's, there we go. I may have to drop infrastructure funding entirely, at least for some things. Yeah, if I don't fund the infrastructure at all, I'll wait another year. If costs still keep increasing despite that, then I'll just try to leave as much as I can to the estates. Anything that isn't vitally important. So I guess I'll be leaving, well, harborage, I guess. Maybe amenities too. Anyway, cheap paper. Rural goods produced plus 1%. Production efficiency plus 1%. And maximum resource size plus 2. Oh, that replaced dev efficiency. Okay. So, small boosts to both urban and rural production efficiency. And the rural resources are now open to more exploitation. Of course, that means that requires investment, but that also means more pearls. So that's really one of the most profitable things I have. I mean, just look at it. From 56, 20 ducats a month. Or yearly. 20 ducats yearly. Okay, maybe farmlands are more effective. 140 ducats yearly from less than 240. Wow, okay. Zanzibar is just plain absurd. There is no way around it. Huh, some tollage. It's been a while since I saw that, since recently all my admin taxes have gone into land tax. Huh. Hopefully my income continues to improve. All expenses have continued to drop, but army maintenance has continued to increase because more and more I see myself supplying my own military rather than relying on no aid for that. It does seem that manpower has increased yet again, thanks to the reforms, so this probably has to do with it. The force limit hasn't changed. Interesting. But how much does it cost? Yep, now it's increased to 0.3. I think earlier, at the start of the session, was at 0.24, so... Of course, the session is just about over. I'll let it lapse into February in order to see if the income has changed and slash or manpower, because I don't know if that... It probably won't change until now, actually. Unless it's set up specifically. I'll have to see. Does that 5,590 stay the same? Could be the manpower set at the... right after all the calculations are done. Specifically for taxation. I've never actually paid that much attention to it. Okay, so income is definitely decreased again. I don't like that. But for right now, there's nothing I can do about it. So, I haven't actually done any major reforms for the moment. I've been just trying to keep my budget in shape. I have reduced the exemptions for military obligations for the nobility in order to try to handle one of my latest major issues in that the auto taxer has started to invest highly into levies, which is not good for me because that means that more of the levy is paid for by me specifically rather than the nobility or the clans. That's not good. Not good at all. As a result, I've put less money into maintenance of property. Well, not property, but infrastructure, and also been trying and reduce the amount that the auto investor is able to do. Thankfully, corruption continues to decrease, so less money is being leached away from my taxes. I'm also trying to keep state reach increasing in order to help deal with issues. This will help with raising centralization and lowering autonomy. Of course, there still remain issues. Manpower costs continue to increase. Property costs aren't that important. Wage costs, though, ooh. Thankfully, my property is mainly providing me an income, though it does use up Diplo points for that process. I have also researched a level 1 admin in every tech, so things are getting there. But I have a lot to deal with, and it's not easy to handle. I have actually lost quite a bit of money since. I have, however, done some minor investment into Zanzibar in the hopes of building it up. For example, there's now an actual armaments industry in place. And I'm giving more reason for the residents to come here rather than Mizizima. Yeah, there's definitely immigration here. This is in order to try to prevent my resident population from completely collapsing into itself, although it's currently going pretty poorly. More or less, there's just not enough residents. They keep moving to somewhere else and then dying off. Unless peasants can emigrate into becoming residents, then that's a different story. That might actually be the case. I don't actually know. Anyway, that's enough for now. I've also been able to look into Europe, although it's a bit of a mess. For example, Lithuania no longer exists. Anyway, I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye.